Or listen to me. Too many people are living in mediocrity. They settle for comfort. But I'm here to tell you today, I ain't average, and neither should you be. Listen to me very closely. Most people will never understand this. Most people will go through life thinking small, acting small, living small. They look in the mirror and they see themselves as average and they accept it. But you're different. I know you're different because you're here, you're listening, and something inside you refuses to settle. You feel it, don't you? That pull in your chest that says, I was meant for more. That voice in your head that whispers, I ain't average. I ain't here just to blend in. I ain't here just to blend in. I ain't here just to go through the motions. And that, my friend, is your potential calling. It's screaming at you. And the problem is most people never answer. Most people never answer because they don't believe in themselves. They have no concept of the power that resides within them. They live their lives for someone else, trapped by fear, trapped by doubt, trapped by the weight of what others think. But not you. You have to understand something. Your potential is not a suggestion. It's not a maybe. It's not a well, let's see what happens. Your potential is a promise from the universe, from God, from life itself, that you were made to do something bigger than what you are doing right now. But here's the truth. Embracing your potential is not easy. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. Because when you truly see what you're capable of, you realize how many years you've been giving less than your best. And that realization stings. That realization should sting because pain is the catalyst. Pain is the fuel. Pain is what turns ordinary into extraordinary. Look, let me tell you something. I know people who are smarter than you. I know people who are more talented than you. I know people who got breaks that you didn't get, and yet they're not where they should be. Why? Because they refuse to embrace their potential. They refuse to believe in the power that was already inside them. They settle for comfort. They settle for excuses. And you know what happens when you settle? Nothing. Nothing happens. Nothing changes. Nothing grows. But when you embrace your potential, when you commit to stepping into the greatness that you were born for, everything changes. The game changes. Your life changes. Your mindset changes. Your energy changes. Your energy changes. And suddenly, the world that used to seem so big, so overwhelming, so impossible, becomes a playground. It becomes a series of challenges that you're not afraid of because you know you can handle them. Because you have tapped into something greater than average. Now, let's get real. Embracing your potential means you have to face the truth about yourself. And the truth is that right now you're probably underperforming. You're probably doing less than you know you can do. And it's okay, because recognizing that is the first step. But here's the thing. Recognition without action is useless. It's nothing. You have to act. You have to decide today, right now, that mediocrity is not acceptable. That average is not your lane. That the life you are living right now is not the life you were designed to live. Every day you wake up, every hour you breathe, every second you take for granted is an opportunity to step into your potential, and you can't let it slip away. You have to grab it. You have to run with it. You have to chase it until your knees hurt, until your lungs burn, until your mind begs for rest, and then push past that. That's what embracing your potential looks like. It's not convenient. It's not easy. But it's necessary. And here's another thing. Embracing your potential means you have to see yourself differently than the world sees you. The world will try to define you. The world will try to label you, to tell you who you are, to put you in a box. They will say you're not capable. You don't have what it takes. Don't get your hopes up. And a lot of people listen to that voice. They let it shape their reality, but not you. You have to understand something. Your potential does not come from other people. It doesn't come from your circumstances. It doesn't come from your education, your family, your neighborhood or background. Your potential comes from within you. It's already there. It's a fire burning inside your soul, waiting for you to ignite it. And the moment you realize that, the moment you stop listening to the naysayers and start listening to yourself, everything changes. You start making decisions not based on fear, not based on what's comfortable, but based on what you were born, based on what you were born to do. You start taking risks that others wouldn't dare. You start pushing boundaries that others wouldn't even see. You start living a life that is fully, unapologetically, undeniably yours. Let me tell you something else. Potential is useless without purpose. You can have all the talent in the world, all the intelligence, all the skills. But if you don't have a purpose, if you don't have a reason why, it will never manifest fully. Purpose is what drives potential into action. Purpose is what turns dreams into reality. Purpose is what separates the average from the exceptional. So when you embrace your potential, you have to also embrace your why. You have to ask yourself, why am I here? Why do I wake up every morning? Why does my heart beat? What is the mark I am meant to leave on this world? Because once you found that answer, once you lock in on that purpose, nothing can stop you. You become unstoppable. You become a force of nature. You become the person you were meant to be. I want you to imagine your life 5 years from now. Imagine where you could be if you truly embraced your potential today. Not next week, not next month, today. Imagine the success, the growth, the respect, the impact you could have. Now imagine the regret if you don't. Imagine staying in the same place, doing the same things, living the same life, still dreaming, still hoping, still wishing. That regret is heavy. That regret is suffocating. That regret is what average people live with. And I know you don't want that. I know you feel that fire in your chest because you refuse to be average. You refuse to settle. You refuse to live a life that doesn't reflect your worth. And that, my friend, is the difference between someone who embraces their potential and someone who doesn't. One decides to rise, the other decides to stay down. One fights, the other quits. One invests, the other wastes. One lives and the other survives. Which one do you want to be? And here's the final truth. Embracing your potential is a daily choice. It's not a one-time speech. The amount of motivational quotes you read in the morning, it's not a video you watch and then forget about. It's a choice you make every single day when you decide to push past excuses, to challenge yourself, to refuse comfort, to reject mediocrity. It's a choice you make when you do the work nobody sees. It's a choice you make when you rise while the world sleeps. It's a choice you make when you keep going, even when your body, your mind, your emotions all scream at you to stop. That's what embracing your potential looks like. And when you do that consistently, when you make that choice day in and day out, something incredible happens. Your potential stops being potential and becomes reality. Your dreams stop being dreams and become your life. Your greatness stops being a thought in your head and becomes a force in the world. So I want you to hear me clearly. You are not average. You were never meant to be average. You were never meant to play small, to hide, to shrink. You were born to rise. You were born to fight. You were born to achieve. And the only thing standing between you and that reality is your decision. Your decision to embrace your potential. So today, right now, I challenge you. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for permission. Stop letting fear dictate your actions. Step into your power. Step into your purpose. Step into your potential. And I promise you, when you do, the world will have no choice but to recognize you. You will no longer be a participant light. You will be a leader, a fighter, a warrior, an example, a testament to what happens when someone refuses to accept average. Don't waste another second. Don't waste another breath. Your potential is called, answer it, today, not tomorrow, today. Rise up, embrace it, own it, and remember this. The world didn't make you. Circumstances didn't make you. Limitations didn't make you. You made you, and now it's time to prove it. Because you ain't average, you never were, you never will be. So get up, step out, and live like the greatness you were born to live. Listen to me very closely. Talent alone will not get you where you want to go. I don't care how naturally gifted you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how many doors life has opened for you. You will never reach your greatness if you don't outwork everyone around you. You see, most people think talent is enough. They think being smart, being fast, being naturally good is something means success is automatic. That's a lie. That's a trap. Because talent will only take you so far, and then will fail you when the real work begins. If you want to be extraordinary, if you want to rise above the average, you have to work harder than the people who sleep longer, harder than the people who complain more, harder than the people who wait for luck or opportunity to fall into their lap. You have to outwork everyone. And that starts with discipline. It starts with commitment. It starts with a refusal to quit. No matter how hard it gets, let me tell you something. I know people who are more talented than me, I know people who had skills that I didn't have, who had advantages that I didn't have. And guess what? I surpassed them. I didn't surpass them because I was smarter. I didn't surpass them because I was luckier. I didn't surpass them because I was more naturally gifted. I surpassed them because I was willing to put in the work when they weren't. I was willing to get up at 4 a.m. when they were sleeping. I was willing to grind when they were resting. I was willing to practice, fail, try again, sweat, bleed, and fight for every inch of progress while they sat on the sidelines hoping success would come easy. That is the difference between the average and the exceptional. That is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. Talent will get you noticed, but hard work will get you results. Talent might open a door, but hard work will make you walk through it. Run through it, and break down every barrier in your path. And don't get it twisted. Outworking everyone is not just about putting in the hours. It's about the quality of your work. It's about pushing yourself beyond what you think is possible. It's about doing things that nobody else is willing to do. It's about being uncomfortable because comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort will lull you into thinking you're good enough. Comfort will make you settle. Comfort will keep you average. But if you're willing to outwork everyone, you will never settle. You will never accept mediocrity. You will never accept be good enough. You will always push, always strive, always chase excellence. That is the mindset of someone who outworks everyone. That is the mindset of someone who refuses to be average. Now, I want to tell you something about failures. Most people are afraid of failure. Most people quit the moment they hit a roadblock. But hard work is not afraid of failure. Hard work knows that failure is not the end. It is the beginning. Failure is a lesson, a teacher, a stepping stone to greatness. The more you work, the more you fail, the more you learn, and the faster you grow. The talent alone will crumble under the weight of adversity. Talent will hide when things get tough. Talent will make excuses. Hard work, however, will push through. Hard work will keep going when the world says stop. Hard work will fight when the odds are against it. Hard work will grind while others sleep. And that, my friend, is what separates those who dream from those who live their dreams. Think about this for a second. You see someone who is successful, and you say, oh wow, they're so talented, they have it easy. Stop lying to yourself. Stop giving talent all the credit. Talent didn't get them up at 5 a.m. Talent didn't make them stay late at night. Talent didn't make them push through rejection. Talent didn't make them sacrifice. Talent didn't make them grind when nobody was watching. That was hard work. That was determination. That was discipline. That was commitment. And if they can do it, so can you. If they can outwork everyone, so can you. And the beautiful thing is this. When you commit to outworking everyone, you gain something more than success. You gain confidence. You gain self-respect. You gain a mindset that's, I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care what doors are open or closed. I will outwork you. I will outlast you. I will overcome every obstacle in my path. That is power. That is greatness. That is the difference between average and exceptional. Let's be honest. Most people are not willing to outwork everyone. Most people want shortcuts, easy paths, instant gratification. Most people quit when the work gets hard, when the process is slow, when nobody is cheering them on. But here's the reality. There are no shortcuts to greatness. There is no elevator to success. The ladder is steep, the steps are tough, and the climb will challenge every part of you. But the ones who make it to the top are the ones who are willing to work harder than anyone else. The ones who are willing to push past pain, past doubt, past fear. The ones who grind in silence while others sleep. Those are the ones who turn potential into achievement. Those are the ones who turn dreams into reality. And let me tell you this, hard work compounds. It compounds faster than talent, faster than luck, faster than connection. Every extra hour you put in, every sacrifice you make, it adds up. You're building momentum, you're building skill, you're building resilience. And before you know it, the people who thought they were ahead of you because of talent or opportunity are now trying to catch up to you. That is the power of outworking everyone. That is the power of refusing to settle. That is the power of showing up day after day, ready to grind, ready to sweat, ready to push yourself beyond limits that others thought were impossible. I want you to understand something else. Outworking everyone isn't just about physical effort, it's about mental effort. It's about emotional effort. It's about being strategic, disciplined, focused, and intentional. It's about saying no to distractions, no to excuses, no to anything that keeps you average. It's about having a vision so clear, a purpose so strong that nothing can shake you, nothing can deter you, nothing can stop you. Talent might give you the ability to start, but hard work will give you the ability to finish. Talent might get you noticed, but hard work will make you legendary. Talent might get your foot in the door, but hard work will build the empire. Now, I want to ask you a question. Are you willing to outwork everyone? Are you willing to wake up when others sleep? Are you willing to sacrifice what they enjoy for what you want? Are you willing to stay focused when they get distracted? Are you willing to grind when they rest? Because this is where the battle is won. This is where dreams separate from reality. This is where average stops and extraordinary begins. And let me tell you something. If you commit to this, if you live by this, if you internalize this truth, you will never have to worry about talent again. You will never have to compare yourself to anyone. You will never have to wonder if you're good enough, because you will be more than good enough. You will be unstoppable. You will be relentless. You will be the person who proves that hard work beats talent every single time. So I want you to take a look at yourself in the mirror right now. Look at your reflection. Look at your eyes. Look at that fire in your chest. That fire is your potential. That fire is your greatness. That fire is waiting for you to show up and put in the work. And the truth is, most people will never answer that fire. Most people will run from it. Most people will settle, but not you. Not today. Not now. Today you make the choice to outwork everyone. Today you make the choice to grind, to sweat, to sacrifice, to push past every excuse, to rise above every limitation, to show the world and yourself that talent alone is not enough. That hard work, discipline, commitment, and relentless effort are the keys to greatness. That's all I'm asking you right now. Will you outwork everyone? Will you be the first to arrive and the last to leave? Will you push past the pain, the fatigue, the doubt, the fear? Will you do what others won't do so that tomorrow you can live the life they can? Because if you do, if you truly commit, you will see results. You will see success. You will see your life transform. You will see the power of hard work. You will see the truth. Talent is nothing without effort. Talent is nothing without discipline. Talent is nothing without grind. And you will be extraordinary. You will be unstoppable. You will be a living example of what happens when someone decides they will outwork everyone. Stop waiting for permission. Stop hoping for luck. Stop wishing for things to get easier. Start today. Start now. Outwork everyone. Outlast everyone. Outshine everyone. And remember, when others see your success, when they see what you built, when they see the life you're living, they will ask, how did you do it? And you will smile. And you will say, I outworked everyone. Listen to me very closely, because this is one of the most important truths you will ever hear in your life. Your mindset determines your altitude. Let me repeat that. Your mindset determines your altitude. I don't care how educated you are. I don't care how many opportunities come your way. If your mind is not right, if your thinking is average, if your belief in yourself is weak, you will never reach the heights you're capable of. The problem with most people is that they allow other people to control their minds. They allow fear to control their thoughts. They allow doubt to dictate their actions. And the moment that happens, everything else becomes meaningless. You could have the talent, the resources, the connections, the luck. But if your mindset is wrong, you will sabotage yourself over and over again. But when you get your mind right, when you understand the power of thought, when you embrace the truth that you are capable of more than you've ever imagined, that's when transformation happens. That's when ordinary becomes extraordinary. That's when average stops being acceptable. Your mindset is not just about positive thinking. It's not just about repeating affirmations or writing quotes on sticky notes. Mindset is about ownership. Mindset is about discipline. Mindset is about refusing to make excuses, refusing to blame circumstances, refusing to accept limitations imposed by others. Mindset is about looking at your life honestly, looking at yourself honestly, and saying, I am responsible for everything that happens to me. I am responsible for my success. I am responsible for my failure. I am responsible for my future. And when you take that level of responsibility, everything changes. Suddenly, setbacks are no longer obstacles. They are opportunities. Challenges are no longer threats. They are tests. Failures are no longer reasons to quit. They are lessons to learn, fuel to grow, and motivation to push harder. Mindset is the foundation of greatness, and without it, nothing else matters. Let me break it down for you even further. Most people operate at a level far below their potential because they think small. They limit themselves before they even try. They tell themselves, I can't do this. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not capable. This is too hard. And then they wonder why they don't succeed. I'm telling you right now, you have to change the way you think about yourself. You have to challenge the lies you've been telling yourself for years. You have to speak to yourself with power, with authority, with faith in your ability to overcome. Because the mind is like a muscle. It grows stronger the more you train it. If you feed your mind with doubt, fear, and excuses, it will remain weak, and your results will reflect that weakness. But if you feed your mind with belief, with determination, with the certainty that you are meant for more, it will become unstoppable, and your life will follow. And here's the truth about mindset. It's contagious. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, the conversations you engage in, they all shape the way you think. If you're around people who doubt themselves, who complain, who make excuses, guess what? That energy will seep into you. If you watch, listen to, or read content that reinforces fear, limitation, or failure, that will shape your mind too. But if you surround yourself with people who think big, who act bold, who refuse to settle, your mind will start to expand. If you feed your mind with knowledge, inspiration, and courage, your thinking will elevate. That is why your environment is so critical. That is why the people you choose, the media you consume, and the habits you practice every day determine not just your mindset, but your future. Now I want you to understand something else. A strong mindset is not about being positive all the time. Life will knock you down. Life will test you. Life will throw challenges at you that seem impossible. But mindset is about resilience. Mindset is about refusing to quit even when it hurts, even when it's unfair, even when you're tired. Mindset is about focusing on what you can control instead of what you cannot. Mindset is about knowing that no matter how many times you fail, no matter how many times you fall, you have the power within you to get back up. That's the difference between those who stay average and those who rise above. That's the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. Your mind will give up before your body will. It will tell you to quit. It will tell you you're not good enough. It will tell you to settle. But if you have the right mindset, if you have trained it, if you have conditioned it, you will push past the voice of doubt. You will push past fear. You will push past limitation. And you will keep going until you reach your goal. I want to challenge you right now. I want you to ask yourself, how strong is my mindset? Do I believe I can rise above my circumstances? Do I believe I can achieve more than I am right now? Do I believe I can overcome failure, criticism, rejection, and setbacks? If the answer is no, that's okay. But it's time to change that. You have to take control of your mind. You have to take ownership of your thoughts. You have to train your mind daily, consistently, relentlessly. Feed it with belief. Feed it with courage. Feed it with determination. Feed it with the certainty that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you are unstoppable. But because your mind will lead you to your next level. Your mind will determine how high you rise, how far you go, and what you are able to achieve in life. Here's another truth about mindset. It requires action. You cannot just think your way to greatness. You cannot just visualize and hope it happens. Mindset creates the foundation, but action builds the structure. And if you have the mindset of a champion but do not act, nothing changes. If you think like a winner but do not work like a winner, you will remain stuck. Your mind is the pilot, but your effort is the engine. Your belief is the compass, but your work is the vehicle. Greatness requires both. A mindset that refuses to accept limits and the discipline to take massive, consistent action. That is how you transform your life. That is how you break free from mediocrity. That is how you go from average to extraordinary. And don't forget this, mindset is a lifelong journey. It's not a one-time decision. You will face days when doubt creeps in. You will face moments when fear feels stronger than faith. You will face challenges that make you question yourself. And that's when your mindset matters the most. That's when you have to dig deep. Remind yourself of your why. Remind yourself of your potential and push forward anyway. Mindset is not about avoiding struggle. It's about mastering it. Mindset is not about living without pain. It's about using pain as fuel. Mindset is not about being perfect. It's about being relentless. And when you embrace that, when you fully commit to shaping your mind for success, nothing will be able to stop you. So I want you to take a moment and reflect. How are you thinking about your life right now? Are your thoughts elevating you or limiting you? Are you building your mind or draining it? Are you creating a mindset that will take you to greatness or one that keeps you average? Because the truth is, the difference between the life you have and the life you want is your mind, your mindset, the way you think, the way you believe, the way you respond to challenges, the way you see yourself and your possibility. That is everything. You can change your circumstances, you can change your skills, you can change your environment, but if you do not change your mind, nothing will change. Let me remind you of this one final thing. The mind is powerful beyond measure. What you believe, you become. What you focus on, you manifest. What you think, you attract. And when you combine a strong, disciplined, unshakable mindset with relentless action, you create a life that most people can only dream about. So right now, I challenge you to take control of your mind. Feed it with belief, feed it with determination, feed it with courage, feed it with knowledge. Refuse to listen to doubt, refuse to accept fear, refuse to settle. Train your mind daily, strengthen it, push it, challenge it, because the stronger your mind, the higher you will rise. The further you will go, the greater you will become. Your mindset is the key to your success, the foundation of your greatness, the engine of your extraordinary life. It's time to make the decision. It's time to commit. It's time to take control of your mind, master your thoughts, and embrace the power within you. Because you are not average. You are not limited. You are not here to settle. You are here to rise, to conquer, to dominate, and to live a life that reflects the greatness that has always been inside of you. Mindset is everything. And now it's time to make it work for you. Listen to me very carefully, because this is one of the most important lessons you will ever hear. The people around you, the environment you live in, the voices you listen to, they have more power over your life than you realize. Most people are average because they let others define them. They let other people's opinions shape their actions, their mindset, their future. They let society, their family, their friends, even strangers dictate what they can or cannot do. And that, my friend, is the difference between someone who is average and someone who is extraordinary. Extraordinary people ignore the noise. They focus on their mission. They tune out the doubters. They shut out the critics. They refuse to let the world keep them small. You have to understand this. The moment you stop caring about what other people think is the moment you start living life on your own terms. That's when greatness begins. Most people make the mistake of looking for permission to succeed. They wait for someone to say, "Oh, go ahead, you can do it." They wait for approval, validation, recognition. And while they wait, life passes them by. The opportunity they dreamed of, the chance to rise, the moment that could have changed everything. They miss it because they were waiting for someone else to give them the green light. But here's the truth. No one is coming to give you permission. No one is going to hand you success. No one is going to validate your dreams. That is your responsibility. That is your power. You have to decide right now that you will not let anyone, anything, or any circumstance hold you back. You have to make the choice to go after what you want, regardless of what others say. You have to embrace the courage to be criticized, misunderstood, even hated, if necessary, because the higher you rise, the louder the world will try to pull you down. Let me break it down for you. Naysayers are everywhere. You will encounter people who tell you that you can't do it. You will hear voices that say, "You're not good enough. You don't have what it takes. Stop dreaming." And most people listen to those voices. Most people let those voices shape their reality. But extraordinary people, successful people, champions, they do the exact opposite. They take those voices, they use them as fuel. They use them as motivation. They use them to push themselves harder. Every no becomes a reason to work more. Every doubt becomes a challenge to overcome. Every criticism becomes an opportunity to prove people wrong. That is the mindset of someone who refuses to be average. That is the mindset of someone who rises above. That is the mindset that creates legend. And don't get it twisted. ignoring the naysayers doesn't mean you stop caring about people entirely. It doesn't mean you become reckless or arrogant. It means you learn to discern whose opinions matter and whose don't. It means you stop taking to heart every negative comment, every judgment, every doubt that comes from people who aren't invested in your growth. It means you focus on your own vision, your own purpose, your own mission. Because when you allow others to control your actions, you give away your power. You hand over your destiny. You settle for average when you were born to be extraordinary. I want to talk to you about fear for a moment. Fear is one of the biggest tools the naysayers use against you. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection is designed to keep you small. And most people let fear control them. They don't take risks. They don't speak up. They don't chase their dreams. They stay in their comfort zones. But extraordinary people, they feel the fear. They acknowledge it, and they move anyway. They know that fear is not a stop sign. Fear is a signal. Fear is a reminder that something important, something worth fighting for is on the other side. The moment you allow fear to control your actions is the moment you stay average. The moment you move in spite of fear is the moment you start rising. Let me give you an example. Every great person you admire, every entrepreneur, every athlete, every artist, every leader, they all face critics. They all face doubt. They all faced ridicule. People told them no. People laughed at their ideas. People tried to convince them to quit, and yet they persisted. Why? Because they refused to give power to those who didn't believe in them. They refused to let external voices determine their worth. They understood that the only opinion that mattered was their own, aligned with truth, vision, and purpose. And that is what you have to do too. You have to rise above the noise. You have to focus on your mission. You have to be relentless, unapologetic, and unstoppable. Here's another truth. The world will never fully understand you. People will doubt you. People will misunderstand your vision. People will question your ambition, and that is okay. You don't need everyone to understand. You don't need everyone to support you. You don't need everyone to believe in your dream. The moment you seek universal approval is the moment you start compromising yourself. The moment you rely on others for validation is the moment you start playing small. The moment you wait for someone else's blessing is the moment you allow yourself to remain average. You have to learn to be comfortable standing alone, learning to trust your own judgment and following your own path even when the world is against you. Now, let's talk about action. Ignoring the naysayers is not passive. It's not just about shutting out negative voices in your head. It's about taking bold, decisive action in the face of doubt. It's about moving forward even when everyone else says it's impossible. It's about doing the work, putting in the hours, sacrificing the comforts, and staying disciplined. Because the louder the critics get, the more determined you must become. Every you canter must fuel your I will. Every impossible must ignite your I'm possible. Every doubt must push you to prove the world wrong. That is how you rise above. That is how you break free from average. That is how you create a life that nobody can question, because it is built on results, not opinions. And here's the final truth. When you ignore the naysayers and focus on your mission, something incredible happens. Your confidence grows, your clarity sharpens, your momentum builds. The more you focus on your goals instead of the criticism, the stronger you become. You start attracting the right people, the right opportunity, and the right energy into your life. You stop wasting time and energy on negativity. You start living on purpose. You start becoming the person you were always meant to be. And that is the ultimate power of shutting out the naysayers. It allows you to fully step into your greatness without hesitation, without apology, and without compromise. So I'm asking you today, will you let the doubters dictate your life, or will you rise above? Will you listen to the noise, or will you focus on your purpose? Will you settle for average, or will you fight for extraordinary? The choice is yours. You have to make the decision right now to ignore the naysayer, to focus on your mission, to commit to your vision, and to take relentless action no matter what anyone else said. Because in the end, the world will always have opinions, but the only life you have is yours to live. Make it great, make it legendary. Listen to me very carefully, because this is one of the most powerful truths about success that most people will never understand. Consistency is the bridge between mediocrity and greatness. Too many people have big ideas, big dreams, and big goals, but they fail to achieve them because they treat effort like an option instead of a requirement. They show up when it's convenient, when they feel like it, when it's easy. And that's why they never rise above average. Consistency is not about motivation. Consistency is not about inspiration. Consistency is about discipline. Consistency is about showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what's happening around you, regardless of obstacles, distractions, or setbacks. Consistency is what separates dreamers from achievers, hope from reality, and average people from extraordinary people. I want you to think about it for a moment. You could be the most talented person in the world, the smartest, the most gifted, the most naturally skilled, and still fail if you are inconsistent. Talent without consistency is wasted potential. Ability without follow through is meaningless. Dreams without daily effort remain fantasies. But when you commit to consistency, when you show up every day, when you push past excuses and distractions, when you work relentlessly, even when nobody is watching, that's when transformation happens. That is when results compound. That is when greatness is born. Consistency is not glamorous. It is not flashy. It does not give you instant gratification, but it gives you mastery. It gives you progress. It gives you success that lasts. Most people don't understand this. They expect overnight results. They expect immediate recognition. They expect the world to reward them for a few bursts of effort. But life doesn't work that way. Life rewards those who persist. Life rewards those who show up day after day, even when it's hard. Life rewards those who are willing to grind while others rest, who keep going when others quit, who keep pushing when everyone else settles. Consistency is the secret weapon of champions. It is the quiet force that turns small efforts into massive achievements, small disciplines into lifelong habits, and small victories into legendary results. Let me break it down for you. You have to understand that consistency is not about being perfect. It's not about never failing, never slipping, never making mistakes. Consistency is about returning, showing up again and again, even when you fall. Consistency is about resilience. It's about refusing to quit even when the world seems against you. It's about understanding that progress is not always linked, that success is not immediate, and that the path to greatness is paved with repeated, persistent effort. Every single day that you commit to your goal, every single day that you refuse to give in to excuse, every single day that you take deliberate action toward your dreams, you are building momentum. That momentum compounds, that effort multiplies. And before you know it, you are far ahead of the people who thought talent alone would get them there. And here's the reality. Showing up consistently is hard. It's uncomfortable, it's exhausting. There will be days when you don't feel like it. There will be days when you're tired, discouraged, or distracted. There will be days when the excuses feel stronger than your determination. But that is exactly why consistency separates the average from the extraordinary when it's easy. Anyone can give their best when the world is applauding, but only those who show up when it's hard, who push when it hurts, who work when nobody is watching, those are the people who rise above. Those are the people who achieve. Those are the people who live a life of purpose, impact, and success. I want you to understand something else. Consistency is a habit, not a feeling. Most people wait to feel motivated, inspired, or energized before they take action, and that is why they fail. Motivation is temporary. Inspiration is fleeting. Feelings are unreliable. But habits are powerful. Habits create your reality. Habits determine your future. When you build the habit of showing up every day, putting in the work, pushing past excuses, and staying committed to your goals, you create a life that is unstoppable. You create a foundation for success that no obstacle, no setback, no failure can shake. That is the power of consistency. It makes you unstoppable because it builds strength, discipline, and momentum that no external force can take away. And let's talk about results for a moment. Many people give up too soon because they don't see immediate outcomes. They plant a seed, water it for a week, and when nothing grows, they quit. That is not consistency. That is impatience disguised as effort. True consistency is understanding that success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's understanding that God growth, mastery, and achievement take time. It's understanding that every day you show up, every effort you make, every challenge you overcome brings you one step closer to your goal. Consistency is invisible in the moment, but undeniable in the long run. The results will come, but only if you commit to showing up day after day without fail. Let me tell you this, consistent people are unstoppable because they create an unbreakable rhythm in their lives. They develop a routine that drives them forward, a schedule that prioritizes action, a mindset that refuses to negotiate with excuses. They become so committed to the process that success is no longer a question, it is inevitable. And here's the secret, the harder the journey, the more consistency matters. The bigger the dream, the more daily discipline is required. The greater the goal, the stronger the habit of showing up must be. Consistency is the engine that fuels achievement, the anchor that keeps you steady in storms, the force that turns potential into reality. I want to challenge you to reflect on your own life. How consistent are you? Do you show up for your goals every day, even when it's inconvenient? Do you put in the work, the effort, the focus, the discipline, even when nobody is watching? Or you give up at the first sign of difficulty? Do you skip days, let excuses rule, and hope that somehow success will find you anyway? Because I'm telling you right now, it won't. Average people stop when it's hard. Extraordinary people persist. Average people quit when the results don't appear immediately. Extraordinary people stay the course, knowing that the process is what produces the outcome. Average people live for the moment. Extraordinary people live for the mission. Which one are you going to choose? And here's another important truth. Consistency builds confidence. Every time you follow through, every time you show up, every time you push past excuses, you prove to yourself that you can do it. You prove to yourself that you are reliable, capable, disciplined, and resilient. And that confidence fuels even greater effort. It compounds. It grows. The more consistent you are, the more unstoppable you become. The more unstoppable you become, the more extraordinary your life becomes. That is why consistency is not just about work. It is about building character, building resilience, and building a mindset of excellence. I want you to hear me clearly. Showing up consistently is not optional. It is not negotiable. It is not negotiable. It is the only path to true success. Talent will get you noticed. Inspiration will get you started. But consistency is what will carry you to the finish line, what will separate you from the rest, and what will turn your dreams into reality. You have to commit to the grind every day. You have to put in the work when it's inconvenient. You have to persist when others quit. You have to stay focused when distractions tempt you. You have to keep moving when nobody is applauding. That is what consistency looks like, and that is what creates greatness. So right now, I want you to make a decision. Decide that from this moment forward, you will be consistent. Decide that you will show up every day, no matter what. Decide that you will push past excuses, past distractions, past setbacks, fear. Decide that you will take massive action every single day toward your goals and never stop until you achieve them. Decide that you will be disciplined, relentless, and unstoppable. Because when you do that, there's nothing in this world that can stop you. When you commit to consistency, you commit to greatness. You commit to results. You commit to the life you were meant to live. And that, my friend, is how average people become extraordinary. Listen to me very closely, because this is one of the most important truths you will ever hear about success, achievement, and living a life that is extraordinary. Sacrifice is not something optional. It is the foundation of greatness. Too many people want success. Too many people want results. Too many people want recognition, but they are not willing to pay the price. They are not willing to give up what others are willing to give up, what others are willing to give up. They are not willing to endure what others are willing to endure. And that, my friend, is why most people remain average. Sacrifice is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Sacrifice is the difference between living a life of mediocrity and living a life that reflects your full potential. You see, nobody gets to the top without giving something up. Nobody achieves greatness without making tough choices. And nobody transforms their life without embracing the discipline to do what is necessary, even when it hurts. Let me break this down for you. Sacrifice is not just about giving up material things, though sometimes it is. It's not just about money, comfort, or leisure. although those are often part of it. Sacrifice is about giving up distractions, giving up excuses, giving up temporary pleasures that keep you from your long-term goals. Sacrifice is about prioritizing your future over your present. Sacrifice is about doing what others won't do so that you can have what others can only dream of. It is choosing discipline over desire, effort over ease, and action over comfort. And make no mistake, this is not easy. Sacrifice is hard. It requires courage. It requires patience. It requires endurance. But it is necessary because every person you admire, every success story you see, every legend you look up to, they all paid the price of sacrifice. Think about it for a second. Every athlete who has won gold, every entrepreneur who has built an empire, every artist who has reached the top, they all sacrificed. They sacrificed time with friends and family. They sacrificed comfort. They sacrificed instant gratification. They sacrificed sleep, leisure, sometimes even happiness in the moment. And yet they did it willingly because they understood their reward on the other side of sacrifice was worth it. They understood that anything worth having is never easy, never free, and never handed to you without effort. Sacrifice is not a punishment. It is the path of freedom, to achievement, to fulfillment, and to greatness. Sacrifice is personal. It looks different for everyone. For some, it might mean waking up at 4 a.m. to grind while everyone else sleeps. For others, it might mean saying no to social events, to entertainment, to comfort, to distractions that pull them away from their purpose. For others, it might mean investing money, time, or energy into learning, improving, and growing when it would be easier to spend that energy elsewhere. The point is this: you have to be willing to give up something today in order to gain something far greater tomorrow. The moment you embrace sacrifice as part of your journey, everything changes. Your focus sharpens, your commitment deepens, your results accelerate. Most people fail to understand the power of delayed gratification. They want everything now, and when it doesn't come, they quit. They want instant success, instant recognition, instant reward, and when the effort is hard, they look for the easy way out. But the truth is, success is not instant. Achievement is not immediate. Mastery takes time, dedication, and relentless effort. Sacrifice teaches you the power of patience. Sacrifice teaches you to value your long-term vision over short-term comfort. Sacrifice teaches you that every choice you make either moves you closer to your goal or keeps you stuck where you are. And when you make the conscious decision to sacrifice, you align yourself with progress, growth, and ultimate success. Let me give you an example. Look at the most successful people in the world. They did not become successful by doing what was easy. They did not become successful by taking shortcuts. They did not become successful by avoiding discomfort. They became successful by sacrificing. They sacrificed sleep to work. They sacrificed comfort to learn. They sacrificed time to build skills. They sacrificed leisure to chase their goals. In every sacrifice they made compounded, built momentum, and propelled them forward. Sacrifice is the currency of achievement. The more you are willing to give up today, the more you are able to gain tomorrow. And here's the reality. Sacrifice is not always visible. Nobody applauds it. Nobody sees the hours you spend working alone while everyone else plays. Nobody notices the nights you stay up grinding, the mornings you wake up early to get ahead, the meals you skip, the money you invest, the energy you dedicate. Sacrifice is quiet. It is unseen. It is personal. But it is the foundation of all results. It is the invisible force that separates the average from the extraordinary, the dreamers from the doers, the people who talk about success from the people who live it. Sacrifice also requires courage. Courage. It requires the courage to make choices that others won't understand. It requires the courage to prioritize your future over your present. It requires the courage to do things that feel uncomfortable, inconvenient, or even unfair in the moment. Because the path to greatness is never comfortable. It is never easy. It is never fair. And if you want to live a life that is extraordinary, you must have the courage to endure what others are unwilling to endure. You must have the courage to choose long-term victory over short-term pleasure. You must have the courage to stay the course, even when it hurts, even when it challenges you, even when it feels impossible. Now let's talk about focus. Sacrifice and focus go hand in hand. You cannot sacrifice without focus. Sacrifice requires that you know what you are willing to give up and why. You must have a clear vision, a clear purpose, and a clear understanding of your goals. Otherwise, sacrifice becomes pointless, and you will feel like you are losing without gaining anything in return. Focus keeps you on track. Focus ensures that every sacrifice is strategic, intentional, and aligned with your ultimate vision. Focus prevents distraction, doubt, and procrastination from undermining your efforts. When you combine sacrifice with focus, you create a powerful formula for unstoppable success. And here's the most important truth. Sacrifice is temporary, but the rewards are permanent. The discomfort you endure today, the effort you put in while others rest, the choices you make to prioritize your dreams over convenience, they are temporary. But the results, the success, the freedom, the fulfillment that comes from those sacrifices will last a lifetime. That is why it is worth it. That is why extraordinary people are willing to suffer in the short term for the long-term gain. That is why they do not complain, do not quit, and do not look for shortcuts. Because they understand that the pain of sacrifice is small compared to the joy of achievement. I want to challenge you right now. Look at your life. Look at your goals. Look at what you want to achieve. Ask yourself, what am I willing to give up to get it? What comforts am I willing to sacrifice? What distractions am I willing to ignore? What excuses am I willing to eliminate? Because until you are willing to pay the price, your potential will remain untapped. Until you embrace sacrifice, your dreams will remain just that, dreams. But the moment you choose to sacrifice, the moment you commit to doing what is necessary, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it hurts, that is the moment you begin the journey from average to extraordinary. And finally, I want to remind you, sacrifice is not a burden. It is a privilege. It is a privilege to work for your dreams, to fight for your goals, to endure the struggle that will make you stronger. It's a privilege to choose the path of greatness when others settle for mediocrity. Every choice to sacrifice is a choice to rise. Every choice to endure is a choice to grow. Every choice to persist is a choice to become the person you were meant to be. And when you embrace sacrifice with this mindset, you will not only achieve your goals, you will transform yourself into someone unstoppable, extraordinary, and legendary. Listen to me very closely, because this is one of the most powerful truths you would ever hear about success, achievement, and living a life that is extraordinary. Discipline is not optional. It is the foundation of all greatness. Too many people want success. Too many people want results. Too many people want recognition. But they are not willing to develop the discipline to achieve it. They want the outcome without the effort. They want the reward without the routine. They want the glory without the grind. And that, my friend, is why most people remain average. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. Discipline is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Discipline is what allows you to stay committed when motivation fades, when the inspiration runs out, when the world seems against you. Without discipline, talent, ideas, and desire are wasted. Let me break it down for you. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's not about never slipping, never failing, never making mistakes. Discipline is about showing up, doing the work, and staying consistent, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is about making the right choice, not just once, but over and over again, day after day. It's about choosing long-term success over short-term comfort. It's about taking action even when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or difficult. It's about staying on course even when distractions, doubts, and fears try to pull you away. That is the power of discipline. It gives you control over your life, your actions, and ultimately, your destiny. Think about it for a moment. Every successful person, every leader, every champion, every legend, they all share one thing in common: discipline. They do not rely solely on talent or luck. They do not wait for motivation to strike. They rely on consistent, disciplined action. They have routines, habits, and systems that ensure progress regardless of how they feel in the moment. They do the work that others avoid, the work that feels uncomfortable, the work that is necessary to reach their goals. Discipline is the foundation that allows them to perform at the highest level, even when the world is challenging, even when circumstances are tough, and even when obstacles appear. Most people fail because they underestimate the power of daily discipline. He think that one great idea, one burst of motivation, one lucky break will be enough to carry them to success. But life doesn't work that way. Life rewards those who consistently put in the effort, who show up every day, who follow through on their commitments, and who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Discipline is the engine that drives achievement. Discipline is the muscle that transforms potential into results. Discipline is what allows ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary things. I want to make something very clear. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is not about restriction or suffering. Discipline is about freedom. The freedom that comes from control, from mastery, from consistency. When you develop discipline, you are no longer a slave to your impulses, your emotions, or your circumstances. You gain control over your actions, your time, and your energy. You gain the ability to focus, to prioritize, and to execute on the things that truly matter. Discipline is not about working harder in a chaotic, unfocused way. It's about working smarter, with purpose, with intention, and with relentless consistency. Let me break it down further. Discipline requires sacrifice. It requires saying no to distractions, no to short-term pleasures, no to excuses, no to laziness, no to procrastination. It requires doing what is necessary even when it is uncomfortable, inconvenient, or challenging. Discipline requires that you prioritize your goals, your growth, and your vision over immediate gratification. It requires that you follow through on your commitments, even when nobody is watching, even when nobody cares, even when the reward is not immediate. That is the difference between those who remain average and those who rise above. That is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. And here's the reality: discipline is developed over time. It is not instantaneous. It is built one choice at a time, one habit at a time, one day at a time. Every time you resist temptation, every time you push through discomfort, every time you choose action over inaction, you are strengthening your discipline. Every small victory compounds, building momentum that carries you forward. Every day you show up and execute, even imperfectly, you are training yourself to be unstoppable. Discipline is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice, repetition, and persistence. I want to challenge you to look at your own life. How disciplined are you really? Are you doing the things today that will prepare you for the success you want tomorrow? Are you consistent in your habit, in your routines, in your efforts? Or are you letting distractions, excuses, and lack of structure dictate your results? Most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they lack discipline. They let their emotions, their impulses, and their comfort zones control their choices, but you have the power to break that cycle. You have the power to develop the habits, the routines, and the consistency that will carry you to greatness. And let's talk about focus. Discipline and focus go hand in hand. You cannot be disciplined without clarity. You cannot maintain consistency without purpose. Discipline requires that you know what you want, why you want it, get it. Without focus, discipline becomes scattered, inefficient, and ineffective. But when you combine clear focus with relentless discipline, you create unstoppable momentum. You eliminate distractions, you prioritize what truly matters, and you execute with precision. That combination is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, the average from the exceptional. Here's another truth. Discipline is tested in adversity. It is easy to be disciplined when everything is going well, when life is smooth, when motivation is high. But the real test of discipline comes when life is hard, when challenges arise, when obstacles appear, when doubt creeps in, when fear tries to take over. That is when discipline matters most. That is when it separates those who rise from those who fall. The disciplined person does not quit, does not give up, and does not compromise. They stay the course even when it hurts, even when it is difficult, even when it seems unfair. Discipline is resilience in action. Discipline is persistence in the face of resistance. Discipline is what allows you to stay committed to your mission no matter what. I want you to hear me clearly. Discipline is not a one-time decision. It is a lifestyle. It is a daily choice. It is a commitment to yourself, your goals, and your future. It is the understanding that every action you take, every habit you build, every choice you make shapes your destiny. Discipline is not just about working hard. It's about working consistently, intelligently, and strategically. It is about doing the right things at the right time, in the right way, over and over again. That's the formula for unstoppable success. And finally, I want to remind you, discipline creates freedom. The more disciplined you become, the more control you have over your life. The more disciplined you become, the more options you create for yourself. The more disciplined you become, the less chaos, distraction, and uncertainty dictate your future. Discipline allows you to rise above average. Discipline allows you to achieve results that most people only dream of. Discipline allows you to live a life of purpose, impact, and fulfillment. And when you embrace discipline fully, when you commit to it without compromise, there's nothing in this world that can stop you from achieving greatness. So right now, I want you to make a decision. Decide that from this moment forward, you will commit to discipline in every area of your life. Decide that you will show up consistently, follow through on your commitments, resist distractions, and prioritize what truly matters. Decide that you will build the habits, the routines, and the mindset that will carry you to extraordinary levels of success. Decide that you will stay the course, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's inconvenient. Because when you do, you are no longer average, you are unstoppable, you are extraordinary, you are destined for greatness. Listen to me very carefully, because this is one of the most important truths you will ever hear about living a life that is extraordinary. Vision is everything. Too many people go through life aimlessly, drifting from one day to the next without a clear purpose, without a defined goal, without a direction that gives their life meaning. They wake up, go through the motions, and wonder why they feel unfulfilled, why they feel stuck, why success seems just out of reach. The reason is simple. Without vision, you have no roadmap. Without vision, you have no destination. Without vision, you have no standard to measure your progress. Vision is the foundation of achievement, the blueprint for greatness, and the compass that guides every decision you make. Without it, you remain average, wandering through life without purpose, without clarity, and without results. Let me break this down for you. Vision is not just about having a dream. It is not just about hoping for a better life. Vision is about creating a detailed picture of the life you want, the person you want to become, and the impact you want to make. Vision is about clarity. It is about knowing exactly what you want, why you want it, and how you are going to get it. Vision is the fuel that drives consistent action, the motivation that keeps you moving when obstacles appear, and the force that pushes you forward when others quit. Without vision, effort is scattered, energy is wasted, and results are minimal. But with a clear, compelling vision, every choice you make aligns with your ultimate purpose. Every action propels you forward, and every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow. Most people fail because they lack vision. They live reactively instead of proactively. They respond to life instead of creating it. They wait for opportunities to appear instead of designing their own future. Vision allows you to take control of your life. It allows you to stop drifting and start directing. It allows you to identify what matters most and prioritize your energy, time, and resources accordingly. Without vision, you are at the mercy of circumstances, opinions, and external forces. With vision, you become unstoppable because you are guided by something far greater than temporary setbacks, distractions, or negativity. And let me tell you this, vision is not passive. It's not a wish, a fantasy, or a hope that things will somehow work out. Vision requires action. Vision requires planning. Vision requires sacrifice, discipline, and relentless effort. A vision without action is meaningless. A dream without execution is just imagination. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who wish for it. They are the ones who see it clearly, plan strategically, and execute relentlessly. Vision gives your life direction, but action brings it to life. You must see it, believe it, and then work every single day to make it real. Think about it for a moment. Every successful person, every leader, every champion, every legend, they all had a vision. They knew exactly where they were going, even when others doubted them, even when obstacles appeared, even when the path was unclear. Vision gave them purpose, clarity, and confidence. Vision allowed them to make decisions that others couldn't understand because they saw the bigger picture, the long-term outcome, and the life they were committed to creating. Vision is what separates the average from the extraordinary, the dreamers from the doers, the people who settle from the people who rise above. Most people underestimate the power of clarity. They think that working hard is enough. They think that effort alone will carry them to success. But effort without direction is wasted energy. Energy spent without a clear goal, without a defined destination, without a roadmap, yields minimal results. Vision provides that direction. Vision creates focus. Vision ensures that every step you take, every decision you make, and every sacrifice you endure is aligned with your ultimate purpose. Vision gives you the standard to measure your progress, the motivation to keep going when it's hard, and the courage to persevere when others quit. I want you to understand this. Vision is not just about you. It's also about impact. Vision is about the legacy you want to leave. Vision is about the difference you want to make in the world, the lives you want to touch, the contribution you want to leave behind. When your vision is bigger than yourself, it creates a force that drives you beyond your comfort zone, beyond your fears, beyond your limitations, inspires you to push harder, to aim higher, and to endure longer than you ever thought possible. Vision gives your life meaning, purpose, and direction, transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. And here's the truth. Your vision will be tested. People will doubt you. Circumstances will challenge you. Failures will try to discourage you. Fear will attempt to paralyze you. And that is exactly when your vision matters most. Vision is the anchor that keeps you grounded, the compass that keeps you moving, and the fuel that keeps you motivated. When obstacles appear, vision reminds you what you watch it. When doubt creeps in, vision reminds you of what is possible. When fear tries to stop you, vision reminds you of who you are becoming. Vision gives you the resilience to persist, the strength to endure, and the clarity to keep moving forward no matter what. Let me be very clear. Vision is not a one-time decision. It's a daily commitment. It is a constant refinement, a constant focus, a constant alignment of your thoughts, actions, and priorities with the life you want to create. Every day you wake up, you must see your vision clearly. Every day you must remind yourself of your purpose. Every day you must take actions that move you closer to your goals. Vision without daily attention fades. Vision without action dies. But when you commit to your vision consistently, your life begins to change. Your energy aligns. Your decisions become easier. Your actions become deliberate. Your results become unstoppable. Now let's talk about courage. Vision requires courage. It requires courage to pursue what others cannot see. It requires courage to take risks, to face uncertainty, to challenge the status quo, and to rise above mediocrity. It requires courage to stay committed when others doubt, when critics criticize, and when the journey gets hard. But that courage is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who settle for average. The more clearly you see your vision, the more courage you can summon to pursue it relentlessly. Vision fuels courage, and courage fuels action. Together they create unstoppable momentum. And here's another truth. Vision is contagious. When you embrace a clear, compelling vision, you inspire others. You attract people, opportunities, and resources that align with your goals. You become a magnet for progress, success, and growth. The more vivid and powerful your vision, the more influence and impact you have on the world around you. Your vision not only transforms your life, but can transform the lives of everyone you touch. That is the true power of vision. It creates momentum not just for you, but for the people, communities, and causes you care about. Finally, I want you to hear this. Vision is everything. Without it, you drift. Without it, you settle. Without it, you remain average. But with a clear, compelling, and purposeful vision, you become unstoppable. With vision, you gain clarity, focus, and direction. With vision, you gain resilience, courage, and confidence. With vision, you gain the ability to take deliberate, consistent action that moves you closer to the life you were meant to live. Vision is the starting point, the foundation, and the guiding force for everything you will ever achieve. So right now, I want you to make a decision. Decide that you will create a vision for your life that is bigger than your fears, bigger than your doubts, and bigger than your excuses. Decide that you will see it clearly, believe it fully, and pursue it relentlessly. Decide that you will align every thought, every action, and every choice with that vision. Decide that you will stay committed even when it is hard, even when it's uncomfortable, and even when it seems impossible. Because when you do, you are no longer average. You are unstoppable. You are extraordinary. You are destined for greatness. Let me tell you something right now, because this is the truth that most people never want to hear. If you want to live a life that's extraordinary, if you want to achieve greatness, if you want to rise above average, you cannot wait for someone else to hand it to you. You cannot wait for luck, for opportunity, for motivation, or for circumstances to align perfectly. You must take full responsibility for your life. You must own your actions, your choices, and your results. You must decide right now that you are not average. You must decide that you refuse to settle for mediocrity. And when you make that decision, everything changes. When you make that decision, your mindset shifts. When you make that decision, you begin to live a life with purpose, passion, and relentless determination. The truth is, life is not fair. Life will challenge you. Life will test you. Life will throw obstacles in your path that will seem insurmountable, that will make you question your ability, that will make you doubt your purpose. And that is exactly when your commitment matters most. That is exactly when your resolve must be stronger than your fear, stronger than your pain, stronger than your excuse. Because the world does not reward attention. The world does not reward potential. The world rewards action, persistence, and resilience. The world rewards those who refuse to quit, those who refuse to settle, and those who refuse to be average. The world rewards those who have the courage to go all in every single day, no matter what. But I want you to understand something clearly. Being extraordinary is not about luck. It is not about being the smartest person in the room. It is not about having more resources, more connections, or more opportunities than anyone else. Being extraordinary is about mindset. It is about determination. It is about determination. It is about refusing to quit when others do. It is about showing up when others sleep. It is about grinding when others rest. It is about discipline, consistency, sacrifice, vision, and focus. These are the tools, the habits, and the principles that turn ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. These are the things that create results, not talent alone, not desire alone, not wishful thinking. And let's be honest, being extraordinary requires sacrifice. It requires you to give up things that most people hold on to tightly. Comfort, leisure, instant gratification, excuses. You will have to choose long-term gain over short-term comfort. You will have to endure discomfort, pain, and struggle. You will have to do things that others are not willing to do. You will have to push yourself further than you think you can go. But every sacrifice you make, every moment you endure, every challenge you overcome is an investment in your future. Every bit of discomfort you embrace now builds strength, resilience, and character that will carry you far beyond edge. Sacrifice is not punishment. It is the price of greatness. And the reward is a life that is limitless, fulfilled, and extraordinary. Consistency is another key. You cannot rise above average with occasional effort. You cannot transform your life with sporadic bursts of energy. True transformation comes from showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's inconvenient, even when nobody is watching. Consistency compounds over time. Every action you take, no matter how small, adds up. Every effort you put in daily builds momentum. Every choice to stay committed strengthens your resolve. Average people quit when it gets hard. Extraordinary people push through. Average people give up when results don't appear immediately. Extraordinary people trust the process, stay consistent, and know that success is the result of relentless, repeated effort over time. Discipline is your secret weapon. It is the engine that drives consistent action, the force that keeps you moving when motivation fades, and the foundation of long-term success. Discipline is not about avoiding mistakes or being perfect. Discipline is making the right choices over and over again, day after day, no matter how you feel, no matter what happens around you. Discipline allows you to control your actions, focus your energy, and align your habits with your vision. Discipline is the difference between potential wasted and potential realized. It is the force that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. Vision is your roadmap. Without it, you drift. Without it, you settle. Without it, you remain stuck, confused, and frustrated. A clear, compelling vision provides purpose, clarity, and direction. It allows you to make decisions that others cannot understand because you see the bigger picture. It fuels courage, resilience, and determination. It inspires action, motivates persistence, and drives you forward even when challenges arise. Vision is the foundation of extraordinary achievement because it gives every action meaning and ensures that every sacrifice is strategic. When you embrace vision fully, you stop reacting to life. You start creating it. Sacrifice, consistency, discipline, and vision alone are not enough without resilience. Life will challenge you. Life will test you. Life will knock you down, sometimes repeatedly. There will be failures, setbacks, and moments when everything seems impossible. But resilience is the ability to rise again stronger than before, to learn from failure, to adapt, and to keep moving forward. Resilience turns obstacles into opportunities. It turns setbacks into lessons. It turns pain into strength. Average people crumble under pressure. Extraordinary people rise in spite of it. Resilience is the backbone of achievement, the shield against defeat, and the fuel that powers your journey when circumstances are tough. Let me remind you that your mindset is critical. How you think determines how you act. How you act determines the results you achieve. Average people allow negative thoughts, self-doubt, fear, and comparison to control them. Extraordinary people cultivate a mindset of belief, confidence, and relentless determination. They focus on solutions, not problems. They focus on growth, not comfort. They focus on action, not excuses. Your mindset is the foundation for every decision, every action, and every outcome. If you want to be extraordinary, you must master your mind, control your thoughts, and direct your focus toward what will move you closer to your goals. Now let's talk about courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting in spite of fear. Every extraordinary achievement requires courage because every path worth taking is filled with uncertainty, risk, and discomfort. Courage allows you to step into the unknown, take calculated risks, and push beyond limits that seem impossible. Courage fuels action when doubt and fear try to stop you. Courage allows you to embrace challenges as opportunities rather than threats. And every act of courage strengthens your resolve, builds your confidence, and brings you closer to living a life that is truly extraordinary. Success is also about focus. Focus eliminates distraction, conserves energy, and channels your effort toward what matters most. Average people scatter their energy across too many directions, allowing priorities to slip and letting opportunities pass. Extraordinary people concentrate their energy, attention, and effort on what will produce the greatest results. Focus allows you to execute with precision, make faster progress, and avoid wasting time on things that do not serve your ultimate purpose. Focus is a superpower, and when combined with discipline, consistency, sacrifice, vision, and courage, it makes you unstoppable. And finally, remember this: your life is a reflection of your decisions. Every choice you make, every habit you cultivate, every action you take shapes the trajectory of your life. Average people let circumstances, excuses, and distractions dictate their path. Extraordinary people take control. They make deliberate decisions aligned with their vision, values, and goals. They refuse to settle. They refuse to quit. They refuse to let mediocrity define them. They understand that greatness is not an accident. It is a result of intentional, persistent, and disciplined effort. So right now, I want you to make a decision. Decide that you will no longer settle for average. Decide that you will commit fully to your vision. Embrace the discipline, endure the sacrifice, stay consistent, cultivate resilience, focus relentlessly, and act courageously. Decide that you will take full responsibility for your life, your results, and your future. Decide that you will no longer let fear, doubt, comfort, or distraction dictate your destiny. Because when you make that decision, you step into a new level of possibility. When you make that decision, you unlock your potential. When you make that decision, you set yourself on the path to living a life that is extraordinary, impactful, and unforgettable. This is your moment. This is your time. The choice is yours. Will you remain average, settling for what is easy, safe, and comfortable? Or will you rise, commit, and pursue the life you were meant to live with everything you have? The answer defines your future. The answer defines your legacy. The answer defines who you are and who you will become. Stand up, take action, and never look back. Live with purpose. Live with passion. Live extraordinary.